welcome everybody right here. It's overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks. A closer look at Jaguar Athletics. And Roman Banks is in right now Minneapolis doing the Final Four. It's always big to go to the Final Four wherever it's at because of the fact, just like Texas A&M just hired a brand new coach from Virginia Tech. And they're getting their coaching staff is. You go there to hire coaches, but you also go there. It's a big convention, basically what it is. And you have an opportunity to go out there and talk to other coaches, see how they're doing and what have you, and be able to do stuff like that. So with me is the one and only Henry Baptiste. How you doing, my friend?
Doing fine. One thing I've got to tell you and Coach Banks, you know what the word retired is? But, you know, I'm always available. You know, I'm happy to be with you all the time. And as usual, Coach Banks has a lot of things to say when he's here, so I just try to do a good job of.
But I know you're always working too.
Oh, all the time.
You never sit still.
All the time, man.
No, indeed. Whether you're in New Orleans doing board meetings here, there, you're all over the place, my man.
We've got a lot of good things happening in New Orleans this year in the Louisiana Superdome. I can't talk about them at this show tonight, but just keep reading the paper.
Yeah.
That Superdome is going to be wow. Next 6 months.
I can't wait. I can't wait. And well, obviously a team that plays in the Superdome, Southern University Jaguars during the Bayou Classic. And Henry, hard to believe, it just seemed like we ended the season just moments ago in the fall season, a couple of days ago. Now the spring season is over, and we had the spring football game. Defense looked pretty good in there against the pass and against the rush. Obviously, we lose Trey Oliver, defensive coordinator, goes back home. And now we kind of wonder what's going to happen on defense. But in the spring game, the defense did pretty well.
They did. I think it was about 85 plays they talked about. I got out there to see a little bit of the spring game and talked to Eric Randall. He was along the sidelines with his son. So we observed several things that took place out there on Saturday. Thought the defense shined, you know, as always, you know, you look for your offense to be ahead of the defense in spring games, but that was not the case Saturday. Even though they had 3 quarterbacks all with some play under their belt, I thought the defense did a great job.
And you've got 3 quarterbacks all competing, and that's, I don't know, when you played the game, I'm sure you felt the same way. You always want somebody pushing you. That's always the best. And Lampley had a pretty good game. Ladarius Skelton's got unbelievable talent. He is here in the crowd as well today. So we've got some good quarterbacks coming back.
We do, and it's been a long time since we've had this many quarterbacks that can, you know, open up a season together. Last year, Southern finished the year, you know, they won the West with a record of 7-4. But this year we've got 12 games.
That's right.
So which is going to be a long season. We haven't had 12 games on that schedule, man, since the late 80s and going into the 90s. So they've got a lot of games this year. Hopefully we can win the West this year. And
Alcorn.
Yeah, Alcorn, that's right.
Always been a thorn in our side. But, you know, speaking of the spring game, one of the things they brought back I thought was cool, the Alumni Association hosted by Alumni flag football game right before. It was 11 o'clock, organized by former Jaguar offensive lineman Daniel Morris and Director of Development Khadijah Campbell. And it was different eras on the field. He was seeing Quincy Richard was there. And that was awesome to see. Dre Joseph. And remember old Alfred Ard?
Yeah.
Man,
the receiver.
That's it. That's it. And didn't he wear 87? I can't remember. I think he wore 87 maybe.
87.
I know Randall Bernard just won 87.
You may be right.
But I thought for sure Ard maybe won 87. But it was so good to see them. There's pictures of it right here that we're looking at right now. And there's Coach Dawson Odoms in the middle. That was fun to see that. All the people participating in that. We got to get Eric Randall there, obviously, to play in that thing because I think that would be great. But that was a fun. Look at them go. They're all going. That's a Sports Illustrated moment right there. That's a good picture. Perry, did you do the photos on that one? Chris did? Look how, those are good right there. Look at almost a tackle right there, so that was good. And it was a fun time. And Henry, you've been around Southern a long time. How awesome is it that Coach Banks and the crew are bringing back alumni and bringing back those players from the past to come back and have fun and celebrate at Southern?
I think this is one of his priorities. He talked about this when he became the athletic director. So many great guys have finished Southern, gone on to excel in life, and you don't hear anything about them once they leave that university. But I think Banks has reached out to several of them, and he's going to continue doing that. And I think it's a good thing. Come back home, come back, and we'll show our appreciation.
Right, right. One of the things I think also is great, Director of Development, Kadeja Campbell, is doing a super job. The Lacumba Kids Club hosted their spring championship hunt on Saturday. They received autographed posters. They also got snowballs and bounce house at the baseball game. And the cheerleaders also did face painting and took photo ops and what have you. That's been big. They tell me the Lacumba Kids Club is growing by leaps and bounds.
Okay. I'm glad to know that. But
Yeah, because we could have young athletes there.
That's right.
And our young students, too. Young student athletes that are coming in. So I think that's pretty great. Southern softball hosted Grambling State this past weekend. They lost on Friday, and then they split the games on Saturday, so they lost that series 2-1. But, boy, we're going to talk about baseball, Carrick Jackson, in just a moment. But Southern baseball team now lost the Friday game, and Coach Carrick Jackson told him, don't overlook Prairie View A&M. They did. They lost on Friday, snapped a 5-game winning streak in the SWAC. Then on Saturday and Sunday, they came back. They just won on Saturday. I think the final score was 26-4. 26-4.
And what that baseball team is doing now, they're playing fundamentally sound football, and they're being well coached. You look at the errors that team committed last year, you look at what they're doing this year, and got basically the same team from last year. So I think they're doing a great job in coaching up there at this point. They got behind in one game, and Kerry was right in there with them, really, showing his skills as a former baseball player. So I think we could win that. We could win the West this year in baseball.
And could go to the NCAA regionals, too.
That's correct.
That would be big. And another big thing is going to be happening on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, April the 9th, LSU comes to Lee Hines Field. And I think there's going to be space. There's not going to be any space available. I understand it's a sold-out game.
Every time LSU comes up there, it's sold out. I've gotten a call from Coach Banks already. We're talking about putting those chicken wings out there next week from the Chicken Shack.
Yeah, and they have them every game.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm doing the game, and I can't go down and get any because I'm doing the game too much. And they are frying them up big time. Boss Man and all of them are cooking them up big time.
Those guys do a good job, but when you get a big crowd, like an LSU crowd that will be out there next week, I just don't think Boss Man can handle all of that volume. So I'm going to step out there with some of my guys from Chicken Shack, and we'll give them a hand and help them along.
Yeah, Coach Cater was out there last week. I did it. The week before, Coach Banks was hanging out with him. They say where the food's at.
That's right. That's a good thing.
Yes, indeed. But so that's going to be fun. We're going to talk more about that LSU game coming up here in just a moment. Coming up, we're going to talk track and field on the way next. Plus, we've got also soccer on the way. And Henry Baptiste tells us about the unbelievable place called the Chicken Shack. And if everybody's been there in the Baton Rouge area, and if you haven't been, man, what in the heck you waiting on? We're going to talk more about that coming up. This is Overtime with Coach Roman Banks, Athletic Director of Southern University. A closer look at Southern athletics. We'll be back with more right here from Scoreboard's Restaurant on Pelican Sports TV.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fouger. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fouger today.
It's game day. A day that should be spent in the living room, not the kitchen. So next game, you just worry about the score, because we've got the food covered. With hand-battered, cooked-to-order, always fresh, never ever frozen chicken fingers, craveable cane sauce, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, official chicken of Southern University. One love.
Grand Cherokees, we'd rather sell them than move them.
It's Salisbury's Move and Selling Jeep Adventure Days.
Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, $27,990.
With Power Group backup camera, keyless entry, and Uconnect.
Get them now at Salisbury's Chrysler,
Dodge,
Jeep,
and Ram in Baton Rouge.
Buddies, talking about buddies. You just can't lock them out, buddies. They'll make your day. Buddies, you can't deny 'em, buddies. You just can't buy 'em. You wear 'em, whatever comes your way. Buddies are here to stay.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Right here, it's Overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks. A closer look at Jaguar Athletics. Coach Roman Banks, of course, this week being in the Final Four in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We got Coach White right here from the track team. How you doing, Coach?
Doing pretty good.
Good deal, my man. Well, you just got back from the 92nd Annual Texas Relays.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
It's always a great experience to get out there to Texas Relays to compete against some of the best people in the nation. It's always a great experience for us.
And how does that help your team on down the line?
It really helps us down the line because I feel like that Texas Relays meet, it really gets the kids that's close to making it to like regionals, close to making it to nationals, to get them that feel of a national environment.
Right. Okay, and helps out where like maybe SWAC
It
championship,
helps all
meet
of that.
and all that stuff. Good. And you had two athletes that had lifetime personal best records. Let's talk about, first of all, Faith Estelle in the hammer throw.
Faith Estelle really competed really well. She actually, the distance that she threw is like the furthest distance in any SWAC competitor in that event within the past 10 years. She threw further than anybody that ever threw in a SWAC in the past 10 years at least. So she's doing really well for us. I'm looking more for her. She's been competing really well. So every week she's getting better.
So that means she should be able to compete well when the SWAC championship comes around?
Yes, actually right now she's 4 meters better than anybody in our conference. So she actually about 15 feet better than anybody in the conference in that event right now.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Then another one, Derek Gorner in the 100-meter dash.
I'm really excited and impressed with Derek. He works really hard, and the kid get out every day, every time. He always run really well. And he had an opportunity to run through his race, work on some things, and he got a lifetime best.
Well, you got a couple of meets that are becoming very close to the area. First of all, this Saturday, McNeese State and Lake Charles.
We go to McNeese State this Saturday. I think it's going to be a really good meet for us. We always go out there and compete really well, and the weather getting where it needs to be at, warming up. So
yes,
while it's warming up, it's time to run well.
Man,
and just compete well.
And what about when it has a threat of rain? What if it rains? How long do y'all go before you say let's start the meet again?
Actually, if it's not lightning, we run in the rain.
Really?
Actually, if it's not lightning or anything, we run in the wind and rain. So, our kids, we in South Louisiana, we got to be ready for anything. So you never know. Like down the road, that we had the conference championship or regional championship or national championship, it may rain. So we'll be prepared for that already.
In the running, does it affect the track though? Do you have different shoes you need to get?
Well, it really doesn't affect.
Wow.
You got to put on the same shoes and get out there and get it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's like football.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that big time. After that McNeese deal, then next Saturday you're going to be in Lafayette, UL.
Actually, we're going to be at a UL next Saturday. We're actually doing a four-way meet, and this is like the first time they've really done it. It's going to be Tulane, ULL, Southeastern, and of course Southern University. We're going to be there too. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a scored meet, so we're going to go out there and represent Southern University now best of our ability.
What time does it start? Do you know?
It's going to start at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. in the morning.
9 a.m. in the morning with the field events, and at 12 p.m. we're going to start the running events.
And on the campus of UL Lafayette.
On the campus.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an alumni from UL Lafayette, but I'm still going to be pulling for Southern.
Okay.
I'm going to be pulling for Southern, my man. I promise you, Coach.
Yeah.
Then, obviously, the next weekend's Easter weekend, so nothing that weekend, but then the week after that, you'll be at LSU.
Well, actually, that weekend right after UL, we're going to go straight into the LSU.
Oh, yeah?
So we're going to, that weekend right there on April 20th, we're going to be actually down here in Baton Rouge competing at LSU. So that's going to be real fun for us. It'll be real close to home.
So the 26th, they moved it up?
The 26th weekend, we really off that weekend.
Okay.
And then the next weekend, we go into conference championship.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about a lot of the facilities are being upgraded.
Right.
How's it looking for soccer? For track and field?
I'm really excited. This week we actually finished the Jaguar Park in our track and field facility.
Wow.
The track portion of it. So we got our javelin runway, we got the track on it, we got we got the long jump, triple jump runway, and we have the pole vault runway. So we're really excited about that, having that back on campus and everything like that. You know, with all the things that's going on campus with all the upgrades and everything. So it's going to be really fun having those kids being able to go out every day and
cool.
do the best that they could do.
Now tell us about the Academic Center. How's the Academic Center helped your team?
The Academic Center is wonders. That Academic Center, like what we have now, like we had a smaller space, maybe less than 1,000 square feet of sitting, like for all 360 athletes. Now we have a 4,000 square foot building for all the athletes, and which we have like 2 computer rooms, some study rooms and everything like that. They have a room where the kids could go out for the eat, like while they're studying and everything like that. So we have great advisement team here and everything at Southern, and it's just a team environment that really helps the teams do better. That's what it's all about.
So what is it? Do you get to your student athlete and tell them, look, you got to? Do you instruct them to go there, or do they automatically go?
Well, basically, our academic advisor, I feel he's like a coach for us too. He stays on them and everything like that. So basically, whatever their GPA is or whatever they need, they gotta go to study hall. So they whatever help they need and everything, like as far as the classes, like he makes sure they get that done. So he kind of bridged the gap, like with the professors and the students, to make sure they get everything they need in order to be successful as being a student first.
Right. And how are you feeling your team is doing in the classroom?
I feel we're doing really well right now. It's gotten a whole lot better since we have that academic center and having like academic support just for our team. So just by having more people and more hands on deck with everything is a great environment.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
So what do you look for the fall in 2019?
What I look for in the fall, I'm looking forward to bringing some new talent into Southern University. Along with, we have still got a lot of young ones on the team that's going to be getting a little older. We're looking for, like everything, we want to win a championship.
Yep.
It's all about winning that championship.
Sure.
Because, day one we go out. September we start practicing. We have our first meet in December, January, and we go all the way to possibly June. You know? So it's all about, having a family environment, the kids pushing one another to get better.
What's the furthest you had to go to recruit?
The furthest I ever had to go to recruit, maybe California. That's the furthest I went. But we got kids from Kenya on the team. So
right.
We got some couple of distance runners from Kenya. So when I look at track, it's like a world type thing. So we got kids from a lot of different places, a lot of different backgrounds, and it makes everything exciting.
And how is that recruiting from Kenya? I know you get phone time.
Yeah.
So you get to call them at certain times?
All of that good stuff. We get the app. They got an app that we could talk to them and everything, and then we can see them run on videos and everything like that. We time them, do different things just to make sure everything is legit with them.
Because I had no idea. I talked to an organizer that ran a marathon, and I had no idea that like the Boston Marathon and all that stuff, they go and they actually buy or kind of like sign a contract for runners from Kenya and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it makes them look good as far as their. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They got kids over there that's really talented. Like track and field is like a world thing. So different countries got their niche. And Kenya, for Kenya, it's the distance runners.
Right.
That's what they specialize in over there or whatever. But yeah, running those marathons, they got people that really live for that.
It was almost in a while that I didn't see as much of the marathons and what have you, but now they're coming out everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's having marathons.
Yeah. Everybody want to be fit,
Man.
Everybody wants something to train for.
No problem. Coach White, thank you as always, my friend.
Always.
Look forward to seeing you here again, my man.
Pleasure.
All right, when we come back, we're going to be talking soccer. Coach Jeremy Fontenot is in the house. We're going to talk to him coming up next. This is Overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks, a closer look at Jaguar Athletics. I'm Chris Powers right here from Scoreboards Restaurant. Come on out and get some delicious food. We got some great food here and a whole lot more. We'll be back right after this, right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Family road trips just got a whole lot easier. The 2018 Nissan Rogue. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility, featuring technologies like available ProPilot Assist, which helps keep an eye on the road ahead and helps you stay centered while you're turning this lane into memory lane. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
CareSouth offers a wide range of comprehensive medical, behavioral health, and dental services. On behalf of the staff and board of directors, we want to thank the Parish of Ascension, East Baton Rouge, and Iberville for allowing us to serve you. Come out to any of our locations where family is serving families.
I can still remember Charlotte's first day of kindergarten like it was yesterday. Now, she's heading off to college.
So how are you feeling?
I'm nervous. I'm also really excited.
You know you're the first McKernan to not go to LSU in decades. Promise me this, you'll wear purple and gold at all the UT football games.
Dad.
Letting go isn't easy, especially for this Louisiana dad, but our children know family is always there for them. Just like when our clients come to us for help, they'll always be part of the Get Gordon family. We want to be your lawyers for life.
Call 888-8888.
Preparing a meal. It's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Home, away, any game day. At Walk-Ons, we'll help you do game day right.
What's the most important aspect of event hosting? Location. This is something that Bell knew from day one. That's why we're located in downtown Baton Rouge, across from the convention center, close to LSU, and right by the river. So with a friendly staff, award-winning cuisine, and a massive conference center of 10 rooms and 24,000 square feet capable of fitting more than 2,000 guests, what we offer is just as important as where we are.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks, a closer look at Jaguar Athletics. We've got lots to talk about as the time goes on. We've got Henry Baptiste coming back on. We're going to talk Chicken Shack here in a moment. Now, Scoreboards here has got, the crawfish is to die for. A big platter of boiled crawfish is unbelievable. They got the crabs here. And, of course, they've got the Overtime Roman Banks bread pudding that we're going to have out here later on. Now, he's not here. That's what he won't be able to get in Minneapolis, I guarantee you that. Right now, we got the soccer coach for the first time, head coach Jeremy Fontenot.
How you doing?
How you doing, my friend? We could be cousins, too, by the way.
Come on.
Mom's maiden name is Fontenot. His maiden name is Fontenot. I mean, his name is Fontenot.
Yes.
So
that's my only last name.
we could be cousins.
Could be cousins.
That's it. What happens? Tell us about the off season for soccer. What happens during the soccer off season?
It's basically the same thing. Recruiting, we play a few games and practice. Everything basically goes the same way as fall season.
Now, what is the conditioning? Because in soccer, you've got to be in shape. It's not like football where you're first down and three, or first down, second down, third down. You're taking times between each play and kind of huffing and puffing, getting your breath and all that. Soccer, you got to constantly going and going.
Right. It's a lot of endurance and speed workouts that we do to stay conditioned. I think most of it is really endurance. Just have to have that endurance in the game.
So what kind of training is that? Is that just keep running, suicides, what?
No, we do all type things. We do miles, suicide. Right now we're doing our fitness test. We just did the 40. We just did 15 100s. Tomorrow we'll do the mile. We'll do the 12-minute run and the beep test. We do a lot of beep tests. at the beginning of spring, the end of spring, at the beginning of fall, the middle of fall, and at the end of the fall.
Right.
And just to see how much they get better in as it. So we really average right now as a team, we're doing like a 7.
Wow.
And everything. So as a team, I got some girls who do get up there to 10, but as an average, we do as a team 7.
Wow. Because, I mean, you know, I think what some fans don't know out there, they can see an athlete, a student athlete, and say, okay, they're in perfect shape, they're skinny and what have you, but they're not necessarily in soccer shape.
Right.
To be in regular shape is fine, but you got to be in soccer shape because you know it 5 or 10 minutes in, all of a sudden you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and you're not playing the defense you're supposed to do or what have you, and you have to pull them out.
Right. So we look at, we give a girl, every female athlete a workout in the summer. So we give them a workout, we ask them to be back in shape at least 80%. You know, so you'll get some of them that's not, and we get back in fall training where we have to work a little harder than expected. So we're working on conditioning at the beginning of the fall in the heat. So it started to mess up the bones and things like that. So, but right now we prepare them in the spring for the summer.
Wow.
And take the summer to prepare us for the fall.
Right.
And we hopefully, and I think right now we got the girls' mindset where we did enough work in the spring, and they'll bring them to that summer and make them work a little harder.
Cool deal. I like that a lot. Now, tell us about the new recruits coming in.
Oh, we signed five young ladies. 4 of them out of 5 are out of Texas. We got 2 out of Dallas, 1 out of Houston, 1 out of El Paso, and we have 1 out of California. All of them are great athletes. Two of them, family went here. Another one, friends went here. So they knew about the school and knew about the culture, knew about HBCU. We have one that I think will be special for us. We'll start off the back if she come back and do the same work that she did. That's the young lady out of El Paso. I mean, it took us over about 3 months trying to get her. She had 31 offers from different universities. She tore ACL probably 2 years ago, so she lost a lot of big-time offers, and I've been following her, and we finally sealed the deal. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Cool deal for that. Good deal. So what are you seeing the response of the team coming back, your recruits, and the team coming back? Are they looking ready for the season?
Yeah. I think our season last year wasn't bad. We lost 2 seniors. We was in every game in conference. I think nobody in conference scored more than 2 goals against us, except one team, and we was injured that game. So I think on the most part, the team that we played last was Howard in the tournament, and they won the tournament. So I think the girls look at our game against them, double overtime. We had 4 minutes left in the game, and we got scored on by a PK. So I think overall, we would look at that tournament and say that's the best game out of the whole tournament. And we go back into the season knowing that Howard is the first game we play in conference. So I think they're ready, they're motivated. I have 9 seniors this year, so they're looking at it like this is my last chance. I have to do everything. So they've been working hard, getting other young ladies involved in more things, doing extra workouts on their own. So I tell them all the time, this is the first time I've seen this since I've been here.
Wow.
Where you're working on your own. So I think they're real ready and focused on the most part.
So, but your season will start before you know it.
Correct.
It seems like years are going by quick, and sports, used to go by slow. Get finished football, take forever to get going, but it just goes so fast. So speaking of that, let's take a look at the 2019 schedule coming up and tell us what it looks like.
Well, we have 7 non-conference games. We start off with McNeese and Stephen F. Austin, 2 Southland tournament teams right there. McNeese finished off in 3rd in Southland tournament, but they lost first round. And Stephen F. Austin finished like in 6 or 7, but made it all the way to the finals. And so we played them, and then we got UNO. Lafayette. ULL, we play them. They have a new coach, so that's something that's going to be different than Houston Tillerson, another HBCU school that me and the coach got together, and he wanted to see a bigger university or HBCU. So I feel like giving them a chance to come visit our school, get to explore and let them see the history over here.
Cool. I was going to ask you that. So that's a home?
That will be a home game for us. And then Troy University come to us. And I think that would be another competitive game for us where we have a chance to win that. And then Nichols and Monroe, they both come to us before conference. And between that and conference, we have a week and a half off to prepare. And we, like I say, we play Howard first. So that's a good thing. I saw in the last couple of years us having a game a week before a conference, and I have 3 or 4 girls injured. So, you know, now we got a chance where we take a little break off between those games. We play Monroe on a Wednesday, and so we have a week and a half to rest and prepare ourselves for Howard. So I think that was our best schedule right there because now we have those games. They are spread out in those 4 or 5 weeks, and then we have a week and a half just to prepare and get the girls that's small injuries, get them taken care of and get them ready for conference.
And I like that. That's good philosophy. And speaking of the philosophy, what is your philosophy for scheduling these games?
I mean, we look at those 7 games. We definitely could go out of those 7 games. We definitely go 5-2 at least. Like I say, the first 2 games going to be hard because we're not playing no real scrimmage before. So those first 2 games on the road will be a little difficult, but I think we could keep it competitive and then be able to come back and work the next 5 games that I think we compete in every one of them. So we at least can go 5-2 and go into conference and really be able to have that better chance to be in a better chance to win conference.
All right, a quick update on the future of Jaguar Park. How does it look for your program?
Oh, it's looking great. Talking with Coach Banks, we are working on a lot of things out there. We're getting a new facility. Hopefully it should be taken care of this year. A scoreboard out there.
Oh, wow.
And it's something where the girls can not just walk from the mini dome, but walk from the field house that's on the field and to see the crowd. Because our numbers been up lately. Our numbers been up to 100. When I first got there, we was averaging like 20 or 30. So we've been getting a lot of people coming to the game.
Cool
so
deal.
Running out of a facility that's on the field and they could see the lights on, fans screaming and things like that, it's going to be great. And I think it motivates them a little bit more.
Awesome deal. Coach Fontenot, thank you, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Cousin, you know.
However we want to call it.
All right, when we come back, Henry Baptiste will join us back. We're going to talk about the Chicken Shack, a big tradition in Baton Rouge and also helping out for Southern University as well. Henry Baptiste joins me back right here. We'll talk that coming up right here. We're at Scoreboards Restaurant. I'm Chris Powers right here on Overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks. A closer look at Jaguar Athletics right here on Pelican Sports TV.
SWAC is back in Birmingham, March 15th and 16th for the 2019 Toyota SWAC Men's and Women's Basketball Championship. The action is back at the Magic City. Don't miss your chance at being a part of SWAC history as 8 teams battle it out to punch their ticket to the big dance. Come be a part of the SWAC family on March 15th and 16th. Don't miss the 2019 Toyota SWAC Men's and Women's Basketball Championships. Get your tickets at swac.org/Toyota SWAC Tournament.
At Roadrunner Towing, we love our God, our children, our nation, and yes, our sports. So let's play ball. Score big when you need a tow, either in East Baton Rouge or West Baton Rouge. Because at Roadrunner Towing, we don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes.
Legendary Import Group. Exceptional service and a rare collection. You'll discover the only distinctive auto for the legend in you. We are legendary.
I am legendary.
I'm Team Legendary.
I am legendary.
I am legendary.
Now that's legendary. Stop by Legendary Import Group today, where our team is honored to serve you. We are legendary.
Legendary Import Group, the only place for legendary care.
The smart Baton Rouge business traveler travels out of Baton Rouge. Why? It's about not having to wake up hours earlier, fight traffic, and stand in long lines. It's also about BTR being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere your business takes you. Smart. So for your business, if it's about being one step ahead and not dead on your feet, then it's about time you flew BTR. Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
I can't imagine a day without music. You go downtown, you can find some music. You come uptown, you can find some music. Monday night, they got music. Every night of the week, there's music somewhere. Baton Rouge is a place where it's easy to make friends, it's easy to hear some music, and it's easy to come back. We got the music, we got the food, and we got good people. So with that combination, you can't lose, right? You ever come to Louisiana?
All right, welcome back, everybody, right here to Scoreboards Restaurant on Coursey Boulevard, right smack in the middle of Airline Highway and Sherwood Forest Boulevard. If you're coming from Airline Highway, you'll look to your left, make that little slight turn, come into the parking lot. And if you're coming from Sherwood Forest Boulevard, look out for all the construction there. Come on by, you take a right when you get onto Coursey and take a right coming into Scoreboards. All right, we're with Henry Baptiste, and if you've never been to Chicken Shack, there's chicken and then there's Chicken Shack chicken. And let me tell you this right now, the other chicken might as well go out of business because Chicken Shack chicken is so different. They have a special recipe. And what, Henry, how many locations you got now here in Baton Rouge?
We've got 3.
3 in Baton Rouge.
3 in Baton Rouge. And we're doing great business.
That's right.
As usual. But, you know, you talked about people that have been to the Chicken Shack. All I tell them, come once, you'll come back.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and a lot of people before, a couple of years ago, they'd always ask us why we don't advertise. All I tell you, just come out, eat once, and you'll do my advertising. You know?
I'm telling you.
And my business partner, Joe Delpit, his father opened the Chicken Shack in 1935.
Wow.
And we've been going ever since there. I moved into the business with him in 1976, and hell, I never looked back.
Right.
We've enjoyed a great relationship, a great run, and we seem to serve the entire community.
Right.
We had our 80th anniversary about 5 years ago when we really finally did some advertising, but we wanted the people to know how long we had been in business. And a lot of people were surprised that Chicken Shack has been going since 1935. And I mean, I was actually raised in the Chicken Shack working in the kitchen, washing dishes, and we used to deliver po' boys on bicycles through South Baton Rouge.
Oh! Yeah,
we'd put those po' boys in those bicycles with the baskets on the front of them and ride through South Baton Rouge delivering po' boys. I guarantee you better not do it in this time of age.
No. So, okay, so you got Pawtucket, obviously. That's where you're at. Scenic. And then Florida Acadian.
And Florida and Acadian.
Right.
We've got a big guy over there that runs the one on Florida Street. They call him Big Troy. So if you ever go to the one on Florida and Acadian, you will always see Troy in there, and he has a lot to say. I call him the preacher. When you call there in the morning, you get the menu on the telephone from Troy.
Right.
He puts his preacher voice to good use. Telling you about all the specials that they've got there. Joe's son works there. He's the chef, and his grandson works at night there. He's the manager. So it's a family affair. The store in Scotlandville, Joe's other son, Derek, runs that. So it stays in the family, and it's been in the family for many years.
And it tasted, Henry.
Oh, yeah.
It tasted, because I'm telling you, not just the chicken, but if you ever go to Chicken Shack, you can't just get the 3 or 4 piece chicken, okay? You got to get the pies with it. Why do those pies taste so fresh like that?
Fresh. We use fresh potatoes. Oh yeah. We don't. I like to tell people the only thing we use out of the can is ketchup. That's it. Everything else is fresh. Fresh potatoes. You know, we boil those potatoes off, and they go to work in the kitchen and get them right. So it's a good thing we've got going, and I can't count the number of pies that we do in the course of 1 week. Those little small mini pies. Denise Johnson always said, "What about the little pies? We're going to bring some of those pies."
You know, sometimes it's like pies or chicken. I can't know which one's the best, but they are unbelievable. Now, you want to know how much he gives to Southern University? You feed opposing teams that come. You have also, you're all over there, but the Wall of Fame at the Chicken Shack. Whose idea was it to do the Wall of Fame? There's pictures from everybody. Porter's on there when he played at Southern University football.
Robert Harris.
Avery Johnson, and the big upset with Ben Jobe, Pete Richardson.
Yeah. We've got a lot of history on that wall.
Whose idea was to do that? Was it yours?
It was mine. You know, I got involved with Southern football and just couldn't let it go. I think when I went to work at Channel 2 as a reporter, I was covering the weekend sports, doing football games, and I would always come back to South Baton Rouge thinking about the things that we could do at the time. And then when we opened the store close to Southern, I said, I'm going to do a wall of memories up here. But Ladarius Skeleton, who will be with us shortly, he came in and he saw that wall last year, and the corner of the wall, it's an opening. I think we must have moved some pitches around. He said, save that wall for me, because that's where I'm going to be.
Come on.
And sure enough, I think when he entered a game as the first time as Southern quarterback, and I think he scored 3 touchdowns that night. He came back the next week and said, am I on that wall yet? I said, no, man, you just got here. But he'll eventually get on that wall.
Now, famous people at Chicken Shack. I've seen one with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali has come there. Who else? Some of the governor candidates have been there.
Picture with Pat Screen and the dedication to Eddie Robinson Boulevard.
Yeah, Holyfield was there.
Wow.
Yeah, he came by. So many celebrities that you're going back and think about them.
It's the best.
The original Chicken Shack on Lettsworth Street, a little bit before my time as far as celebrities, I think Joe was able to get those big band leaders when it come to Baton Rouge to play in the 60s. You know, when segregation was at its highest peak, you could play at a place called the Temple Roof, where all the big name celebrities would come. But they would always, once they left the stage, find their way to South Baton Rouge to eat that good Chicken Shack chicken.
It is so good. It is so good. Now, also, too, if you don't know, Henry's also been a part of the broadcast now for several years. You were a color analyst for a long time. You worked with the great J.C. Politz.
Man, I worked for a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
You know, I came on as a color analyst in 1972 and had a good run, had some great guys working on the side with me, J.C. Politz, Mike Rose, Jeff LeCaz, and I think those were the only 3 play-by-play guys that came in the booth. Then you came along and you were doing sideline, and we knew J.C. was going to be retiring, and I said, Chris is the guy. But I heard you one night do a high school football game at
Catholic High?
Yeah. And I called Denise the next morning. I knew J.C. was retiring.
Yeah.
I said, that guy that did that game last night, we'd like to have him with us, but we don't have an opening right now. We could put him on as a sideline reporter. And I think Denise talked to you, and that's when the marriage begun.
That's right.
But it was just before J.C. left there, and I'll never forget one of those games we had in Florida.
Yeah, Florida A&M.
Yeah, you were doing sideline.
Yeah.
And J.C. was up in the booth. And we were talking about his play at that time, a couple of plays which you thought he had missed. And you know, sometimes he's getting so with some of those eyes, he did miss a play here and there. But I think you being on the sideline, you were right on top of it. And I never will forget when you came in, we were talking about it, and you told me JC missed a couple of plays.
Yeah.
And JC hurt you.
Yeah.
And that game, from there on out, until the final snap of the ball, he was sharp as a tack.
Yes, that's right.
He was sharp as a tack. I can just, his demeanor, his everything in that game was really brought to life. It was like you were sitting on the 50-yard line. He talked about the lights cascading down on the field, the grass so high, the ball is. He was on it.
Yeah.
He was, and JC was one of the best announcers.
Yes, he was.
In this world. A lot of people don't know this, but JC left LSU after the Billy Cannon run.
That's right.
And he was hired by CBS.
Yeah.
He was doing the St. Louis Cardinals ball
That's right.
games. He was the man in the NFL for the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's right.
He resigned from the St. Louis Cardinals to come back home and take care of his mother. He's one of the few guys I know get to the top and retire. Just I'm going back home, take care of my mama.
That's awesome.
And that's what he did.
And that's the kind of guy he was.
Oh yeah.
That's what kind of guy he was. All right, when we come back, we're going to have some more guests. We're going to ask Henry a question and a whole lot more. It's Overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks. A closer look at Jaguar Athletics right here from Scoreboard's Restaurant. I'm Chris Powers, back in a moment on Pelican Sports TV.
Need to see a doctor fast? Lake Express Check-In lets you get in line online. Visit OLOLRMC.com/express to choose an estimated treatment time at one of our emergency room, urgent care, or physician office locations. A service of Our Lady of the Lake.
Legendary Import Group. Distinguished service and detailed attention. You'll discover the only distinctive auto for the legend in you. Stop by 10660 Coursey Boulevard or phone 225-960-1191.
It's game day. A day that should be spent in the living room, not the kitchen. So next game, you just worry about the score, because we've got the food covered. With hand-battered, cooked-to-order, always fresh, never ever frozen chicken fingers, craveable cane sauce, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, official chicken of Southern University. One love.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fouger. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fouger today.
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve with home and auto insurance.
Talk to State Farm agent Anna Jones in Baton Rouge today.
What's the most important aspect of event hosting? Location. This is something that Bell knew from day one. That's why we're located in downtown Baton Rouge, across from the convention center, close to LSU, and right by the river. So with a friendly staff, award-winning cuisine, and a massive conference center of 10 rooms and 24,000 square feet capable of fitting more than 2,000 guests, what we offer is just as important as where we are.
welcome back, everybody. It's overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks, a closer look at Jaguar Athletics. And we're reaching the championship territory for Southern Sports. Baseball team playing this weekend and a whole lot more as we roll up now for the next 7 in Southern Athletics.
7 in Jaguar Athletics. Southern University Track and Field will head to Lake Charles, Louisiana on April the 6th to participate in the McNeese Springtime Classic. Head coach John Garrison and the Southern University softball team will head up to Pine Bluff, Arkansas to take on the Golden Lions of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff April the 4th at 3 p.m. and April the 5th at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. The Southern University women's tennis team will head over to Hattiesburg, Mississippi on April the 4th to take on the Southern Miss Golden Eagles at 2 p.m. The Southern University baseball team will head to Memphis, Tennessee, April the 5th through the 7th to take on the Tigers of the University of Memphis before returning home to Baton Rouge to take on the Tigers of LSU April the 9th at Lee Hines Field and the University of New Orleans April the 10th. And that was your next 7 in Jaguar Athletics. Go Jags!
All right, yes, indeed. We're back here at Scoreboard's Restaurant, and look at this. Crawfish special is always some good old mud bugs. Now, Ladarius, you're from Arkansas. Can you eat mud bugs, man?
Oh, man.
No. Come on. You're not going to eat this?
I mean, I would. Let's see. Don't worry about it. I just learned how to eat these the other day.
Uh-huh. All right. So let's see if Ladarius knows how to eat this. And we have a question. So far, so good. Look, he's doing it. And he's back to pass, ladies and gentlemen. Here he goes. It's 3rd down and 4. Can he get a first down? First down for Ladarius Skelton. How about that?
Oh, it's good.
Is that good? Says it right? All right. We've got right now a question. Usually we ask Athletic Director Roman Banks a question, but this time it's Ask Henry Baptiste a question. And Tiana, you've got a question.
Yes, Chris. We have Miss Connie here. She's an SU supporter, and she has a question for Mr. Baptiste.
Mr. Baptiste, what is the greatest SU football game you've seen as part of the SU radio broadcast?
The greatest game. 1996, we played Florida A&M down in the Georgia Dome. We went en route that year to 11-1 record under Coach Pete Richardson. Florida A&M had a linebacker by the name of Harry Hitman Holmes. Never in the sport of football have I ever seen a guy that was so dynamic on a football field as Harry Hitman Holmes. But he was so hell-bent on defeating Southern that day, he just broke all the rules of the game. But he continued to play, and into the second quarter, he took a cheap shot at the quarterback, and they put him out of the ball game. It was a long 10-minute discussion on why they put him out of the ball game by the officials from both Southern and Florida A&M. They disallowed the hit, put him back into the ball game. First time that ever happened in my knowledge, but it was a great ball game. Southern wound up winning that ball game, and to my knowledge, that's the best. That was one of the greatest football games I've ever been a part of.
Oh, cool deal. That's an awesome deal.
And Harry Hitman Holmes returned to his alma mater, I think 6 years ago, after a great career in the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He came back, and he was a coach, the head football coach at Florida A&M up until 2 years ago. I would have to ask Miss Denise Rankins about that. You know, she's a Florida A&M graduate.
Yeah, she's from you.
She can certainly keep up with things like that.
No
but
doubt
that was
about
my greatest game.
For the second week in a row, Jaguar first baseman Hunter David wins the SWAC Hitter of the Week. Perry White had an opportunity to go inside Southern baseball. Let's take a look at that video right now.
What we look to do and what when we go out and recruit kids and bring kids into this situation, we talk all the time about being accountable. We talk about responsibility. We talk about discipline. And those are the kind of the core pillars that we want to build our program upon. This is a game of discipline. It's a game that's built around failure. but you have to be accountable to each other. And the beauty about it is it's a game where you're not playing against the other team, you're playing against the game itself. So we want to play hard, we want to play aggressive, we want to play fast, and we have that belief that as long as there's outs on the board, that we have a chance to be in every game that we play. To have a team like LSU that's here in town, one, but to have an SEC team on your campus from a Power 5 conference, I don't think you can ask for a better situation than that. With Lee Hines Field and being able to have our home games here, it's an intimate setting that I think rivals anyone in our conference and rivals some of the other programs here in the state. And I think it's an atmosphere that when we do have good crowds out, it's one that our players enjoy playing in front of. It gives us that home field advantage, and it's good to have people come out and support us in that environment. I didn't come into the season with any goal in mind, with number of wins or any of those types of things. We talked about wanting to make the tournament, which is our number one goal, make the SWAC tournament. But the idea of just going out and improving and getting better and capitalizing on the things that we did early in the fall, but putting ourselves in a position where we come out and we play a little bit better this year than we did last year. So come have some good food and see some good baseball. Can't ask for anything more than that.
All right, so that's a great look, Perry White. Thank you for that. Boy, I tell you what, Coach Jackson doing an unbelievable job. We got some crawfish here, guys, and Ladarius already tried one already. Ladarius, was it good?
Yeah, it was amazing. This is my first time having crawfish. And
now this is what you've got to try, my man. This is Roman Banks bread pudding, basically. He names it for himself. So take a shot of that. Henry, you've got one here as well. You like bread pudding.
I've tasted it before. It's great.
Wasn't it good?
It's great.
How's that, my friend?
He's from Arkansas.
Look, he can't even talk. He's eating it big time. He's eating it big time. That's an awesome deal. All right, yes, he's going to take it. All right, next week we've got Khadijah Campbell will be with us, Sukumba Kids Club events, also Faith Fellowship of the Diamond. Chris Jones is going to talk sports information at Southern, and we'll shine our corporate spotlight again right here on the great sponsors of Southern University. Henry Baptiste, you're on this week. And talk about big game coming up, LSU game. You're going to have Chicken Shack Chicken. We'll be there.
We'll be in the house that night, that's for sure. Be great if Southern could show some competitive play out there that night, because I think the first time they went to LSU, they played the Air Force and they kind of got bummed out. But I think as the season goes along, the baseball team is getting much better.
That's right.
I want to turn my attention, Chris, back to this football. We've got Ladarius Skelton in the house with us tonight. Let's talk about.
Well, we got to go. We're done.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll be next week. I guarantee you. Pelican Sports TV. Goodbye.